And we are back here with the MLB, you guys. Brand new video here, MLB Player Props on PrizePicks. This is actually how I got started. Making player prop videos on YouTube was last season, MLB, maybe like May or June of last season. I love MLB. I think, honestly, out of all the sports, it's maybe the most fun, but I think, honestly, the most or the easiest to hit these plays. I think, honestly, the research and the data that's driven in baseball already, you can use them to your advantage by making these player prop decisions here. But I got 4 plays here. Normally throughout the season, I'm going to have only 2 player props here for YouTube. But since it is opening day, we have a massive slate on the MLB slate overall. I am going to give 4 plays here. Now, I'm not saying to play these 4 plays in a 4-man slip. Here, I'm just giving 4 plays. You can pair them however you'd like. But I'm personally not playing these all 4 in a 4-man slip, just so you guys know. Again, I'm not a gambling expert. This is not financial advice. Simply just plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully give you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player prop decisions here. Link is in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks. They'll match 100% of your first deposit. There's a Discord link in the description where main server is completely free. We do also have the Patreon link where I post all the plays that I'm making on PrizePicks as well for each given sport that I do play. While we have NBA going on and MLB on Patreon, it's probably going to be around 3 to 4 core plays on MLB, and then our same 5 to 6 core plays for NBA for the time being, just because both sports going on is a lot to really take in. But let's get into you guys. Super exciting times here. MLB opening day. I got 4 plays here that I'm targeting. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. So the first play here is going to be an MLB Live up here. So it's in the MLB Live category, and we're going to go with Gerrit Cole over 3.5 strikeouts in the first 3 innings versus the San Francisco Giants. So innings 1 plus 2 plus 3 here for Gerrit Cole against the San Francisco Giants. This was a wagon last year. Honestly, I'm surprised it's not set at 4. We can see here like a player like Hunter Green here is set at 4. I think maybe this has a chance to bump up to 4. I'm not really sure. But Gerrit Cole here at 3.5 strikeouts. Really love this play here. We take a look at this. I think this is the first game of the day. 7.5 over under total runs. New York's going to be minus 180 on the money line here. But the matchup for Gerrit Cole looks promising. So the odds for him to go over 7.5 strikeouts is minus 165 on BetMGM, minus 160 on DraftKings. So very good odds for us here to go over 7.5 strikeouts. Now we just need 4 strikeouts here in the first 3 innings. And this lineup that San Francisco is most likely going to put out here, looking like a lineup that we can, that Gerrit Cole should be able to exploit. We can see here they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different batters in that lineup that have a strikeout percentage over 20%, right? And is really what we look for. The all hitters 23.7% K rate versus right-handers. We can see here Gerrit Cole, I think, he's obviously never faced San Francisco. Well, he's been with the Yankees. I think he has a pretty decent hit rate on this overall when he was with the Pirates, and then, of course, with the Astros here. But Gerrit Cole, we obviously know how he does. The percentage of plate appearances that result in strikeouts, 32.2%. We got 6 different guys here in the San Francisco potential, or I guess this is the projected starting lineup here, that strike out over 20% of the time here. I like MLB Live home game here in New York. I like Gerrit Cole to come out pitching just high heat, high fastballs here, striking out for San Francisco Giants in the first 3 innings. I think, again, if this is bumps to 4, I'm not playing it here, but at 3.5, I think is some good value with just insane odds on the over for here for Gerrit Cole in this matchup. The second one here is going to be back to MLB. It's going to be another pitcher prop here. It's going to be Shane Bieber. I like his over 6 strikeouts. Now, I think we get great push potential here. This is a full game, by the way, not MLB Live. So Shane Bieber at 6 strikeouts here. I think we get decent value at 6. I think obviously some significant push potential here. Just really quick, Shane Bieber, has actually cleared this line in his last 4 starts versus Seattle. Obviously, his 1 start last season versus Seattle, where he played at Seattle, when 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 2 runs total, and had 9 strikeouts in that matchup. Now we get some decent odds here. Over 5.5 is at minus 152, and then the rest of the sportsbooks have this at 6.5. So we get that 0.5 discount here with push potential, like I said. But I just really like how Shane Bieber's been pitching. He had a great, absolutely terrific spring training. We can see here in spring training 2023, he started 5 games, 1.54 ERA, and struck out 25 batters in 23.1 innings. Right, very elite stuff here from Shane Bieber. His most recent outing on his last start in the spring training against Colorado, but again, it's all neutral sites. Anyways, he went 6.2 innings and had 11 strikeouts in that matchup. Faced Colorado again, went 7 innings, had 6 strikeouts in that matchup. Faced the Angels, went 4.2 and had 5 strikeouts here. But coming off an 11 strikeout game, had a very, very dominant spring training overall. Really, really picking up from where he finished last season in the playoffs. But I love this matchup here for him as far as these batters that Seattle is going to put out. We can see here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different batters with a strikeout rate over almost 25%. We got these 4 guys right here, Teoscar Hernandez, Cal Raleigh, Suarez, and Kalenic, all over 28% strikeout rate. And then Julio Rodriguez at the top at almost 25% here. Again, 5 batters here over 25% K rate. We know Shane Bieber 25.3% strikeout rate overall as a pitcher here. But just given this form that he's entering in this game, in the matchup with numerous guys in that Seattle lineup that swing and miss. Obviously, the Seattle lineup has a ton of power, but again, a lot of guys here in this lineup that definitely can swing and miss, especially against a swing and miss pitcher like Shane Bieber. We take a look at his number of swings and misses divided by number of pitches, 14.2% swing to strike ratio. So a great spot here for Shane Bieber at 6 strikeouts. I think great push potential here. And then these next 2 plays are going to be actually hitter fantasy scores. The first one's going to be Dansby Swanson over 5 hitter fantasy score. I personally just think this is a little bit too low. Obviously, Dansby Swanson got the massive contract from the Cubs in the offseason here. And we take a look at Dansby Swanson facing Corbin Burnes. Now, again, on paper, a tough matchup. This game overall, let's see, 7.5 over under, so a decent over under as far as scoring goes. 1% chance of rain here, but looking like Dansby Swanson is going to be lined up in that second slot in the batting order. And Dansby Swanson, his career average against Corbin Burnes is elite. 9 at-bats, 5 hits, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. He struck out 4 times, but 556 average in 9 plate appearances. That's pretty decent. 1.22 slugging percentage as well. We just look at some odds here for Dansby's bats that are going to probably be behind him. I mean, Happ, Bellinger, Mancini, Hosmer. Computer's slowing down. But if you guys don't know how the fantasy score works on PrizePicks here, this is kind of a breakdown. So, single is 3 points, doubles 5 points, a triple is 8 points, a home run is 10 points, run batted in, RBI based on a walk, hit by pitch are all 2 points, and then a stolen base is 5. So a variety of combinations here for Dansby Swanson to get 5 hitter fantasy score. Just a little bit too low for me here. If we take a look at Dansby Swanson, he finished the spring training very well, in my opinion as well. We take a look at his last 4 spring training games. He hit the over on this 6, 12, 16, and 8 hitter fantasy score over his last 4 games here. Great spot for Dansby. I think this line just a little bit too low. And then another player that I think's line is just a little bit too low. I mean, it's this low because of the pitching matchup, but I like Trey Turner over 5.5 hitter fantasy score. Now, this is a spot here for Trey Turner that he's facing Jacob deGrom, who he's faced quite a bit, right? 46 at bats, he has 11 hits, he's batting .239, 16 strikeouts. Obviously, it's Jacob deGrom, 1 home run and 3 RBIs, 2 walks. But Trey Turner just had an absolutely fantastic spring. We saw what he did in the World Baseball Classic, and really just batting with the Phillies, he had 23 at bats, 11 hits, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. He batted .478 with a 1.261 OPS. Like, when you talk about fantasy in baseball and fantasy scores for baseball players, Trey Turner is usually one of those guys that is like across the board, like universally one of those elite dudes you want to pick up for your fantasy team here. I mean, just been playing extremely well in the spring. We can take a look at this. These are his last 3 spring training games, 16, 11, and 19 hitter fantasy score in these 3 spring training games here. Had 0 in his last game. I don't even think maybe he had just had 0. But a great spot here for Trey Turner. I think the odds are pretty decent on this as well. If we take a look, he's over -210 to go over at least 1 hit. I think probably, let's see, what else do we got here? Total bases, over 1.5, +150. So overall, I think him batting in this lineup as well, top of the Phillies lineup, a very potent and lethal lineup here. He's batting literally in front of Schwarber, Realmuto, Hall, Castellanos, Stott, Bohm, Jake Cave here. Indoor game here. I think if he could get a hit or 2 off deGrom or just get on base, we know Trey Turner can steal the bases. score runs as well. I just think this line's a little bit too low for a player that's been mashing all spring. So these are the 4 plays here. Again, I'm not recommending playing this in a 4-man slip, but I like Garrett Cole over 3.5 strikeouts. I like Shane Bieber over 6 strikeouts full game. I like Dansby Swanson over 5 hitter fantasy score, and then Trey Turner over 5.5 hitter fantasy score. MLB's back, you guys. Super, super exciting times. I'm putting out daily content just like this every single day for the entire MLB season. Let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about these 3 player props here. Drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.